salt.
Oh, good morning, Joel. How are you today?
Good morning, Ben. I feel fantastic. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well.
Jax, how about Jax? How's he doing? Seems very energetic this morning.
Seems very happy to be joining us on the couch.
Yeah.
in the most convenient place possible.
Mm-hmm.
That's all right. Good thing he's so handsome. The attractive ones get to do whatever they want. That's fine. It's the rule in life, kids. Just be pretty. Just be pretty. It all works out.
And useful.
So, how's your class this morning?
It went well. It went awesome. We're going to go a little heavy on dumbbell cleans. That way they could do the movement right. Because, when dumbbell's light enough, when the weight's light, you kind of just get away with anything you want because you throw that weight up. But when it's heavy enough, you're forced to have to do things right. Jumping all the way up, extending the body, shrugging the shoulders, catching the dumbbells on said shoulders, and then repeating. So it went really well. They moved well through the little circuit I had today, so it was a lot of fun. How about your class?
No, it was good. We
A little bit of alterations, huh?
Yeah, so for those that haven't come in yet today, there's a few changes to the program for the CrossFit side of the building. So around this time of year, I mean, it happened last year as well, as the weather changes, where we get cold, then we get hot, then we get cold, then we get hot. The slab, for those little engineering here, the slab doesn't keep up with the temperature. So when the slab is still cold and it gets warm, it tends to sweat or condensate. And so, and most of y'all have seen it if you've been with this for any length of time, where you come in and the floor's a little bit slick, and anything that's metal has a little bit of moisture on it. And so with what was programmed today, which was 2 muscle-ups, 3 hang cleans, 225, 135, 4 handstand push-ups, and 5 over-the-bar burpees. So obviously a heavy, explosive workout. Slick floors, because the rubber mats, although they're dry, there's more texture than, say, the concrete. I told my 5 a.m. that as soon as you do not have 100% confidence in your landing, you cannot safely weightlift. And so it's not, would someone have slid in the splits? No, it wasn't that wet. It's honestly them not going 100%. It's them not being able to commit to the lift. And in weightlifting, the only way for weightlifting to remain safe is for us to be able to go 100%. You can't do weightlifting slow. You can't be timid. And so we made some changes. But the good news is 5M got done and said they had a lot of fun with it. And so for those that are either frustrated that we don't get to hang clean 220, whatever it is, don't worry. I got something for you. We had a good time. And it's also something you and I have talked about almost every Saturday that we've thought about a workout is, what if we did kind of a lump sum number that they got to divide up? And so it worked out.
They were just constantly moving.
I guess there shouldn't be surprises, right? We should just say it because they're going to all talk to each other anyways. So the workout is now 4-time, 210 reps, okay? 210 reps.
That is total, folks.
Total, okay? The way that you're going to achieve those 210 is utilizing, in order, at 75, 55 in terms of pounds on the bar, push press, hang power clean, front squat.
Ooh.
Every time you break, you have to move on to the next movement in the line. And so 3, 2, 1, go. Joel busts out 33 push press. When he can't do 34, he can set the bar down, whatever, but the next movement must be the hang power clean. So then he gets to 57. The next movement must be the front squat. And so, and then after the front squat, the last detail is after the front squat, you got to go run. And so when you break your front squat, you remember what number you're on. So 73, and then you go for a Red Wing jog, come back in the door. 74 is on the push press, 74, 75, 76.
Yeah,
so
pick
it's
up where you left off, basically.
Yeah,
folks.
exactly. And as soon as you get to 210, you're done. So at 210, you do not have to run again. And it worked out really well. So I think they enjoyed it. It still allowed for some barbell work. It allowed for some technique work for those that listened to the part where it was good practice. For those that didn't, it was not great practice. But it was good. I think everybody, I'll say this for sure. Nobody gave me a hard time about having to change the workout. And I appreciate that, because I don't like that it is relatively unsafe in here. It makes me uncomfortable. So I'm glad that there was nobody that felt the need to emphasize how upset they were that they didn't get to heavy clean today.
Yeah. There'll be there. We program a lot of weightlifting, and you've actually brought this up before, saying that, do you think we do it too much? And I think that's probably a reason why why there wouldn't be any complaints today, because we do plenty of barbell work here.
Yeah, I
Plenty
agree.
of barbell work, plenty of running,
Yeah.
which is funny because an athlete brought that point up to me, like, man, I do a lot of running here. I'm like, it's good for you, but we also do a lot of all the other things too that you like too. So I mean,
Yeah, isn't that weird that one person will walk up and say, hey, I love that we use the barbell all the time. And then the next person comes in and goes, hey, y'all run a lot.
yeah,
And it's like, how do we run a lot if we're always on the barbell? But,
yeah,
you know, and I told you this back in my day, back in 2010 when I first got into CrossFit. I mean, I think we ran every day. I think there was at least a 200-meter run in every workout. At least that's
200
hyperbole.
meters worth of running.
I'm exaggerating. No, a 200-meter run. And so the idea that we run too much, I think we generally have about 3 workouts a week with a run in it, varying from a taco loop, which is about 150, all the way up to, say, an 800. And
Actually, I had 800 in a while. Now that I think about it.
you made him do it Saturday.
Whoa,
You
It's a
just
Saturday.
made him do it.
that's a
If
Saturday
Joel's going to ride a
workout.
workout on the CrossFit side on a Saturday, there's going to be an 800-meter run in it.
Well, yeah, I like that.
But it'll only be one. He just wants you to have to do it,
Yeah.
and then you get to come in and like lift heavy. But
Yes.
no, I don't think we've used it in the week. And I know what you mean, because we think of our week different than we think of the weekend. The weekend kind of sets apart, both in that I don't program all the way through the Saturday most of the time. I program Monday through Friday. And so oftentimes it'll be the Saturday coach who is able to be creative based on who arrives and how the athletes are feeling from the week. And that's what I've always wanted Saturdays to be. You know, we like to be responsive to how the training has affected the athlete. And so if they're torn up, you know, literally if their hands are torn up, because we, like, had we done
Muscle ups today or whatever.
rope climbs yesterday, muscle ups today, and so their hands are raw, well, tomorrow shouldn't be toes to bar.
Yeah.
You know, and we want to be able to know that.
Mhm.
But if not many people did muscle ups today or not many people were here yesterday, then their hands aren't raw,
Yeah.
then we can use toes to bar. You know, we want to be able to be flexible on that. That's why it always perplexes me when you buy programming, like as an affiliate. It makes sense when you're an individual athlete. But when an affiliate buying programming from somebody that doesn't take part in their gym
Yeah.
blows my mind, because that they will never get feedback. They'll never understand what the athletes are going through, how the athletes are adapting, what the stimulus. It just doesn't. I mean, not to mention,
Yeah, it's weird.
like, if you open a gym and you immediately cannot write your own workouts, like, we have 3 jobs: keep people safe, write workouts, and keep things clean. Like, that's in a nutshell our job. And so if I can't do one of those 3 things, what on earth was I thinking?
That is weird. Like, just the
pretty
thought
common.
of that.
It's
Like,
really
I
common.
get my program from somewhere else. Like, I heard that some gyms just do what's on main site.
Well, I think
And
that's
I think that's different because
I think it's different. I still think it's lazy. And before anybody on the CrossFit Seminar staff gets on me, let me be clear. Main site is perfect, but main site is for athletes that have all of the movements
Yeah.
down and are taking the time to practice the movements, not in that Metcon, not in that conditioning.
I do like what they did with the Instagram. I think if
Mhm.
you it's either CrossFit. I think it's either on their CrossFit training Instagram or their CrossFit main.
I think it's
Instagram,
off. I think it's usually training. I think sometimes main
where they'll
shares it.
post the intermediate version and the scaled version of
Mhm.
the workout, and I really enjoy that they do that now.
I think it's awesome, and I do think it's a good exercise for us as coaches to see what they see as
Yeah.
scales and modifications, and then kind of judge it based on. I think it's fun to look at the regular workout, go through the scales yourself, be like,
Mhm.
okay, I would have my athletes do this, I'd have my athletes do that,
Yeah.
and then slide over or swipe over and go, oh, they went this way, or oh, cool, they did the same thing.
So sometimes what they do on the journal is they'll put a scenario out like this athlete can't do this but is good at this but can't do that.
I
but is
like
good at
that.
and then they'll post what 2 other coaches from 2 different gyms, what they would do, and I'm always interested to see what their thought is. And sometimes like, oh, I like that, and then sometimes I'm like, why did they put this on the website?
Well, I mean, because it's not always going to work, right? But
Yeah.
like, so think about what we sat. So we have a little Maddie Garcia is hanging out with us. She's on the what we're going to call the Black Wolf support staff right now, and she's kind of going through our intern program as a coach. And so on Mondays we assign a movement that we talk about, and then on Wednesday we kind of go through practical application of cues and coaching. And so this week, which is really week 1. I mean, we had week 1 last week, but first week where we really put it into practice. we kind of did the same thing. We were like,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, what are all the cues you would use? You know, if you could use the most cues possible to teach an air squat, what is it? And then we went down to like, okay, short.
How many cues are there?
Well,
apparently?
in the
Allegedly?
level 1 handbook, there are 21 cues.
21 cues.
And we went through them, and none of them are erroneous. None of them don't have bearing, but they also, and this is what CrossFit emphasizes, they also aren't all appropriate every single time. And so there's 21 cues the level 1 handbook has for the air squat.
Sup, drizziness.
And then we went through, we had her write down 9. Then we had you demo different scenarios, different levels of capacity for the air squat, and had her really doing her first practice run at diagnosing and kind of triaging your issues.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had my mom walk in, who squats well. I mean, she's 63 years old and she get below parallel,
Mm-hmm.
but she doesn't squat perfectly. And so my mom didn't know she was going to be put in the spotlight here. And so she walks in. I'm like, Mom, do an air squat. Maddie, fix it. And Maddie got a really good opportunity to work with her. And guess what happened? My mom's air squat got a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Like just Maddie adjusting her depth and not allowing that spine to pull apart. It was such a step in the right direction.
And Sue changed her squat up a little bit. She went a little wider than usual. And she thought, this is super wide. And then it turns out, oh, no, it was perfect.
Yep. Yep.
It was what she needed to do.
Yeah. And
You
so
over the toes, back was flat, she was low. It looked good.
I think that this goes to something that we've played with sometimes over the last 2 years, that we haven't. Sorry. Okay. Distracted. Don't pay attention to emails if you don't. Be present, Ben. Be present.
Be present.
I'm gonna be present.
No
All right.
distractions. Except your comments, folks.
Oh, of course. Well, I'll let Joel
Anyways.
be distracted by that. I don't care if you comment. I mean, no, comment, like, subscribe, all this stuff. I'm supposed to be a good podcaster.
Yeah.
No, like building the scenarios, but like the idea of, and we need to find a better way. Look, coaching. If you're an athlete, you know you have to practice. If you're an athlete, you know you have to practice. You know you have to get better at your cleans, get better at your snatches if you want to compete. You got to get better at your running. You got to get better at your whatever. Now, we could get into our discussion on practice versus training because, for example, there's an old, fairly athletic person that used to work with us who never practiced anything. He just trained, but he could lift really heavy. So he kept training, never practiced, and he doesn't achieve the goals he wants to achieve. So there is a difference between practice and training, okay? But
this would be like PVC work, kipping swings.
yeah,
just
well, I don't even
things.
well, hold on. I think we could even back off that. Yes, I think that could be done. But like for this particular person, I think had he just stayed at 60% and not always operated at 80,
Not always try to get
if he'd been able to guarantee his position.
Mhm.
Practice is guaranteeing your position.
Mhm.
And so, are your heels on the ground? Are your knees out? Is your chest as upright as it could be? Not it's kind of upright, not it's good enough.
Yeah.
You know, am I as ideal as I possibly can achieve in this moment? And sure, PVC, absolutely. I mean, when are you too good for the PVC? Never.
Never.
You know, in CrossFit, Glassman always said that. As soon as you think you have it all figured out, go back to the beginning. So once you think you've learned it all, go back to the air squat.
Mhm.
So, and it's so true because even as we're talking to Maddie about her teaching the air squat, I'm going, oh, I forgot about that one, or oh, emphasis. I need to make sure I double down on this.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been doing this 8 years. I've gone back to the air squat a bunch, and I'm still learning. You know, and so I think that
Well, how many cues do you usually get for an air squat? Out of the, what was it? You said 24? Was it 22?
out of the 21,
21?
I mean, of those,
Like how many
have I ever
on a regular
used?
basis?
I mean, honestly, well, that's the thing. Like regular 6, 5,
Yeah.
6, a third of them.
It's a third.
Well, we talked about the one, especially the ear. The ear needs to travel straight down.
Yeah, that was
Never would have crossed my mind.
Yeah.
But then once we unpacked it, made perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I almost read it jokingly to y'all, like,
Yeah.
hey, what do you think about this? And I was like, oh, wait. We do it with the barbell.
Yeah.
We said the barbell's got to go straight down over the midfoot.
Mm-hmm.
I guess with the air squat, there ought to be a marker as well.
Yeah.
You know? But back to the practice thing. As coaches, I've had a lot of conversations about how unprofessional the fitness industry is recently because it drives me nuts. I don't want my work to be not supported by professional individuals. And one of the signs of a person who's not professional is someone who doesn't take the time to develop. And so we've all done it. I've done this for long periods of time. You show up, you don't give a thought to what's on the whiteboard till you get there. You run the workout okay, and then you go home. And that's the norm. Maybe I glance at it on the website as I'm driving to work. Maybe I glance at it the night before. But the norm is definitely not writing out a lesson plan, taking the time to understand where the hiccups, where the choke points might be, and then kind of going through what you just said where it's like, what if I had this athlete? What if so-and-so's here? What is it going to look like? And that's what we've gotten better at. And every time you come in, you have your notebook, and you're able to point it out and be like, this is what I was thinking for the warm-up. And I think that's such a great step towards making this a professional job, which allows us also to be more proud of what we do. I think that, and we had this issue with a lot of our previous coaches, it was like, why would you want a job where you don't have to prepare? Like, why is that worth doing?
Yeah.
If your job's so easy for you, like, and by the way, perceived easiness, because they were not that great.
Yeah.
These were not, they were good coaches. They were not exceptional coaches. They all could have been better, but they approached it like they had it all figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was, all right, guys, what if we go through these scenarios? Like, nah.
And you never have it figured out.
You never have it figured out. And so I think that any job worth doing is worth doing well. We know that saying. But I think that, like, the more preparation a job requires means the more pride you can take in doing that job.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think these scenarios that you just brought up are great things that we could implement. I think it's a fun game to play with Maddie or any future potential coaches. But I also think it's a fun game to play with ourselves.
Has she cited her 100 words to you yet?
She has not. Did she do it to you?
Yeah.
She already has it?
Like pretty much 98, 99%.
I think we've stumbled on a smart one, man.
Oh, yeah, she's smart.
I think she's about to change our lives. I think she's going to bring some stuff.
She could possibly do that.
I think she's going to bring some stuff to the table, both managerially. Like, I think she's going to take the reins on some things here,
Mm-hmm.
but also as a coach. She already has so much experience. So her background is teaching kids gymnastics, which I cannot imagine a more frustrating thing.
Yeah, because what? Wait, what? You want me to do what? Oh, look, a butterfly.
Think about managing
Actually,
the danger.
That's kind of like adults almost as
Well, no, it's exactly, except adults can at least be held responsible for their actions.
Yeah.
If you decide to jump on your head, that's your fault. Okay?
As an adult.
But as a kid, if you ask them to do a somersault and they freaking roll on their neck weird, like, that's you.
Yeah.
Even if the kid didn't listen. I mean, it's still, you have to, the parent's not going to come up like, oh, Tommy didn't listen. The parent's going to come up like, why did you hurt my kid?
Yeah.
So imagine balancing that.
No, I didn't do it.
Not being frustrated just in general, being patient, having to still get them through a program.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still structured. So, I mean, she's bringing a big skill set here. And so I'm looking forward to watch her development. Man, how did we get on this?
100 words. We were talking about
No,
Maddie.
it's way back. It's way back at the beginning. Like, good morning, Joelle. And then we went down. Oh, I changed the program.
Yeah. Is that really how this started? That's how the podcast started. Is that really how we got here?
We went to weightlifting bias and running bias.
Okay. And then waist to scale.
And then I think that was it.
Yeah.
All right. So, cool.
Squat.
Awesome. All right. So,
Awesome. Possum.
oh, let's review our week. And we also have some announcements for what's coming up.
Oh, yeah.
But let's review the week. So Thanksgiving was last week.
Yes.
Since this podcast, we had the Thanksgiving potluck on Saturday at 5 p.m. And we had a great turnout.
That was fun.
It's a lot of fun. Another testament to how great this community is. I think we had about 20 people here.
They got you with some games. With some mind
They
games, didn't
did. Super annoying.
Brandy
and Taylor. Our band directors were.
They speak a different
I
language.
still don't understand. Yeah, I guess it was.
Gullah
That's
gullah.
the best way to put it.
Has anyone ever heard of Gullah Gullah?
They basically taught us like a version of Pig Latin. Like, it's
So
Pig
weird.
Latin using snaps.
Yeah.
Pig Latin using snaps.
And different words.
And so that was fun. But I really appreciated all the food. Like, we had a great spread. Like, there's a lot of good food.
A lot of good food.
Sometimes people do potlucks, and it means you're gonna go just bring a bag of chips. But no, they brought a lot of homemade goodies, a lot of good. Amy's cookies, like Amy, man, still thinking about those cookies.
Decorated
So
the heck out of those.
they were delicious, And the food, I whoever brought the chicken, maybe it was turkey, I don't know. Whatever meat got left
Turkey,
here,
I don't know.
I've been
Like,
eating it, and Jax has been eating it. It's been amazing. So thanks for leaving that behind.
mm,
But it was a great time. It was a great time. It was a great mix. It wasn't just like sometimes it's like one class shows up, but it was a great mix of athletes from all different classes, and
yeah, sure was.
it was a lot of fun. Then Sunday, kind of the norm, I had the free yoga, and then we rolled into the week. So I don't know. Any highlights from this week? It's been kind of weird. The weather's been rainy. It's been this disgusting like 50 to 70 degree temperature swings. Kind of that ugly. It's not cold, not hot, which is almost more uncomfortable than if it was too cold or too hot.
Yeah.
So kind of an odd week that way. We had 3 rep max back squats, and we had a lot of PRs that day, a lot of heavy squatters, and that was pretty
Yeah.
fantastic to see. So
I've been
that's
pushing.
been
Shout out Dominique 205.
Dominique 205. That was awesome. Why do we never get the videos? Why can't we just put the videos up? Like why do they keep the videos? And then why don't they share the videos? Like, guys, be proud. Put your videos
They'll
up.
do
Like,
it on the story and tag us.
yeah, the story thing. Like, what's the deal with the
Just
story?
put it on your feed, folks.
Why?
Let
You're-
it stay there forever.
You're young. Why do people put it on the story and not on the feed?
It's easier.
Is it?
Yeah.
Based on like,
You swipe up. Next. Done. That's it. I actually.
do you think it's easier? Or do you think it's because they get to decorate it with bullshit?
Well, probably that too. There's that. Yeah. You got
Like on a
that.
post, you
you
don't get to
get,
decorate
you get to
it.
put the hashtags, little gif.
Hashtag yes, girl.
Clock. Degrees. Wednesday. Hump day. Saturday. Lit.
Yep,
Ass. Mood. True. You get to put all that stuff on there.
that's true.
You get to use a filter. You get
Filter,
to-
filter it up.
Yeah, you get to draw on it. You just tag people. Like, it's just quick. And then it goes away. I don't know. It's just easier. It's quicker.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. It also
Yes.
goes away and you don't see it again, so that means that nobody can be proud of you for more than 24 hours, and that's not fair.
Unless you highlight it. That's another one. You can highlight.
You know what I'm not going through? A regular person's highlight feed.
That's true.
Like, I don't care unless you're somebody I look up to, or and even then, it's Instagram. Someone I looked up to is probably not on there.
Yeah.
But
I've gone through, I think, a highlight feed once.
yeah, I'm not sure. Like, if I don't want to pick on anybody, but like if I had a highlight feed, like what
It'd be Jax all the time.
that like right?
Just
Well, that's what
Jax.
people do, right? They pick like one annoying thing about themselves, and like that's their thing. It's like
Yeah.
a dumb look into the camera, or it's their dog or their cat or their coffee every
Right
morning.
now, me, it's my dog. It's Bruce. I
Yeah,
have
but
a lot
that's
of
different because
stuff.
Bruce is the man.
He's some big old eyes.
How is Bruce doing?
He's doing great. He chewed on my sister's makeup box yesterday. So that was pretty funny.
Ruh-roh.
I was like, uh-oh, let's go for a walk before she gets home.
Ruh-roh.
And, well, you can't be mad at him because he kind of looks at you with these big eyes.
Oh,
and
he's
it's like,
no. There's no way to be mad at that dog.
what'd I do? What'd I do?
There's no way to be mad at Bruce. If you haven't met Bruce, you got to meet Bruce.
No.
He's a special. I don't understand why he's so unique. Like, but he walks
weird.
in and there's something. Yeah, it's a weird in the best. It's a weird thing. Like, he's squattier. He obviously has some bulldog in him,
Yeah.
but he's still a giant pit.
He's an odd one.
He's like a giant pit with some bulldog.
Like, if he looks up, it's straight up pit bull. But
Yeah.
if he looks down, it's like a Neapolitan Mastiff? What do you call it? Neapolitan Mastiff?
I think so.
Or just a Mastiff in general. Just wrinkles and extra skin everywhere. And it's like, you're like two different dogs, bro.
But he's also like a foot off the ground.
yeah,
And he's not tall.
He's short and stocky, yeah. He's funny.
He's like Paul Wall.
He took
He's low to the earth.
Yeah, there you go. And because of like his build, he's always sitting sideways.
That's Mike Jones.
No, that's Paul Wall.
Sitting sideways.
Yeah.
Okay, that's Paul Wall too.
Yeah,
So that's
big
his.
pokey.
Holy man! All right. Well, true to Houston.
H-time.
Well, speaking of dogs,
Loaded 9.
speaking of weird weather, we got Christmas coming up.
Yes.
So, should we just go through the announcements?
We could definitely go off on a different route if we keep going on the path we're going.
Well, I do want to get to the end. We're going to end on kind of I'm going to steal from Scott Van Pelt and go one big thing because you folks, and I can't imagine there's people that listen to this because because if you
Ruh-roh.
listen to this, you're engaged, and if you're engaged, you wouldn't do this. But in 2 days and 1 morning, so in 48 hours plus the 5 hours I've been awake so far, 3 and a half, 4 hours I've been awake. So 52 hours. We've had 5 people cancel their memberships. All 5. But I'll be back after the holidays.
Oh. I was talking to my barber about this shit yesterday.
I was talking to my therapist about this shit yesterday. So we're gonna end on that. I don't want to go to it now because it makes me upset. And it's not
changes the tone a bit.
It's not. Yeah, it upsets. Like it doesn't upset me that like people would leave because that's life. That's the market.
Yeah. They come
But
and go.
like I'm so sick of the message.
We
The
expect
message is like I just travel too much. Like quit making excuses. Like, and I've done this long enough to where it's been kind of just beaten out of me to lie or to sugarcoat.
Not only that, but you know people who travel a lot and still make
That's
it
the
happen.
thing. There's someone traveling far, far more than you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know you're going on 2 Christmas weekend vacations, okay? Wow. 2 weeks, you're going to be gone 6 days in the month of December, and your life is too busy. But anyways, okay, we're going to move on because this brings us to, hey, maybe we should do contracts. You know? Hey, maybe you should raise prices so that they don't get to come back to the cheapest gym in town. You know, there's all sorts of stuff to consider here. But, like, never mind, like, I would like to eat this Christmas. I would like to buy my groceries this Christmas. You know, and again, if you truly need to leave, like if you haven't been showing up and you're done with this gym, that is the person who should cancel. I refuse. I will, most of you can attest to, if you've disappeared, I have emailed you and said, where you at? Do you want me to cancel? Because I do not like someone still paying if they're no longer using us. But that is different than someone that is too lazy to get in here. Okay, that is someone that is not able to prioritize to get in here. That is someone that does come once or twice a week and just decided they'd like to save money for a month. Like, that's different, okay? Because we have patience with you, all right? So if you really want to say that you're not going to come for the month of December, then fine, let's freeze the account. That's fine, okay? But a freeze means that there's a date that it will go live again, all right? But when you're like, no, I just don't want to be charged until I decide to come back. Well, then I don't want you to come back. Like, that's what it comes down to. Because I should have had you sign a contract. Any other gym would have had you sign a contract. There would have been a commitment to me the same way we are committed to you.
Most other gyms have contracts.
So this definitely has me in my feelings. It happens every winter, though. Every winter. It's the norm. It's normal. People fail to prioritize, okay? And it's just going to be human nature. And so that's what we're looking at right now. And this goes back to it's a blessing that Adam bailed, because that shrink in payroll kind of gives us more cushion. And as the classes get a little bit smaller, as it gets cold, it's more work for us, but it allows us to still operate with the hope of staying in the black financially. So I'm going to end on kind of a request for you to one, not mail it in December. Like, you know what you don't have to do in December? You don't have to gain weight. You know what you don't have to do in December? You don't have to get out of shape.
Madeline. Josh, what's up?
And so I just want to emphasize that December is no different than July. Okay, and December is no different than May. December is no different than January, when you're going to wake up and go, I've got to be a new person, New Year resolution. Okay? I don't like gyms that write the blog post this time of year that goes, don't wait until January. But honestly, when this stuff happens, it makes me think you need that blog post. It makes me think you need to be reminded that you don't have to wait till January 1st to be a better human, that you could start being a better human today, okay? And I also just, we are the most affordable CrossFit gym in this area. Like, the most affordable.
CrossFit gym.
That's it. Oh, I'm sorry. We're the most affordable strength conditioning gym. We're the most affordable. Any gym that does group classes with coaching, we are the most affordable in this area. Like, straight up. And if I have one more discounted person ask for a discount, one more discounted person ask for a way to save money, I'm going to lose my mind. Your coaches care about you more here than any coach at any other gym around town. And all we get is this ooh, man, what do we need to pay? $160? I'm like, well, the average is $190.
And more.
Yeah. Did you know to go to some of our favorite competitors is $215 a month for unlimited?
That's a lot of money.
I'm sorry. Just go ahead and assess how much you pay. All right? So, let's just recalibrate, be appreciative, commit. And we're not asking for anything not in return. I want to coach you all of December. Okay? I want you to show up. I want you to make progress, not fall behind in December.
That's why the membership is cheap, because we want you in here.
It's always been, we've talked about on this podcast before, like I want to give access to as many people as possible. But unfortunately, the people that gain access with a cheaper price are people that do not appreciate it. You know? They're the people that are peeing on my toilet seats. I'm tired of cleaning it up, guys. Tired of it. If you paid $190, you wouldn't be doing that.
Come on, y'all. Don't pee on the toilet seats.
So it's just, again, probably in my feelings a little bit here. And I see that we're getting some comments on both sides, if you want to read those. Yeah, we got 2 gray bubbles that have gone up on the Facebook.
Yep, up north here, the price is 200 plus.
200 plus in the north.
Tank competing this weekend. What's Facebook saying? Uh-oh. Here we go. Michelle, I'm traveling for 11 days this month. I'll be there every other day. I can be. Of course you can, Michelle, because you're a hard worker. We appreciate you. Janai, is it possible to gift a month of CrossFit to a friend for Xmas? Ben?
Absolutely, Janai. We'll make that work for sure.
That's one hell of a gift.
That's a great gift. You're the best Santa Claus in the world.
I don't know after we see you in your Santa Claus outfit. I don't know.
Well, so let's get to the announcements. Now that I've done the rant in the beginning.
Mini rant.
So this weekend, you just touched on it with Tank. So this weekend, why don't you just stay on your feet? Because they keep commenting.
Oh, gee willikers, Batman. Aziza. Lucy. Ew.
Who is that?
I was like, Aziza. Who's Aziza? Oh, it's Lucy. Hey, Lucy.
Lucy.
She says ill for some reason. And then, also, I promise to stop peeing on the toilet seats. Michelle. Thank you, Michelle.
That's probably the ooh.
I get it. It's okay. Sorry.
That is an ooh, Lucy. So this weekend at
Thank you, Michelle.
No Label Brewery, which is basically when you take I-10 out towards Katy, if you take the old Katy exit, it's going to be just on the right when you peel off the freeway. It's going to be on your right side. So about 25, 30 minutes on a Saturday morning, probably 25 on a Saturday morning with no traffic. We've got 5 athletes competing out there. Joelle, Tank and Anna, and Summer and Erica.
No, Tank and Angie.
Sorry.
Tank, let us know what your team name is. Comment.
Tank and Angie, and then Summer and Erica. And so
yes,
we do not have the final heat schedule yet. So apparently they were not able to get enough individual competitors to compete. So they had to take, like Joelle's going to be individual, so they had to then reshuffle, and now we're basically waiting for them to add. But there was only, what, you said 2 guys, 2 girls?
Something like that. Very small number.
So they're adding 4 teams. And so it should be pretty logical. I'm sure they'll be in the second heat of the team division. But we'll get the times out to y'all whenever we know exactly when Joelle's going. It is an all morning, all day, or all like morning to mid-afternoon kind of thing. They're saying, what, around 2?
Yeah, around 2. And then
which is pretty good.
That's
That's about the same as Atomic at Hammer and Chisel.
Mm-hmm.
So
Pretty
basically
standard.
8 a.m. to 2.
Standard
And if
stuff.
you've never been a spectator, you do not have to come the whole day. Is it 3 guaranteed events?
3 guaranteed events.
So 3 guaranteed.
3
Come
individual, 3 team.
for 2. You know, show up at 8, watch the first and second, or show up around 10 or 11 and watch the second and third.
Tank's team name, Tank and Angie, Tired and Hungry. Team Tired and Hungry.
God, that's
awesome.
so appropriate.
You want to know Erica and Summers?
Sure.
Mexican Vanilla.
Stop.
Yes. Summer and Erica, Team Mexican Vanilla. That's a funny one.
Then what's y'all's?
Shake and Bake. Talladega Nights. If you
Okay.
ain't first, you're last. It was almost that.
I'm glad our athletes are more creative than y'all.
Yeah.
Um,
Wasn't the most original thing, but, Shake and Bake.
what else has nothing to do with either of y'all? Neither of you shake or bake.
Well, I shake. She might bake cookies. Who knows?
That's sexist.
John's rant at the beginning. Don't act like there won't be another one. John Simmons.
That's perhaps true.
It could be spot on.
Thank you, John. You know me so well. But yeah, they'll be out there, No Label Brewery, 8 to 2-ish.
Yeah.
Probably a little bit later, and then I'm sure who's hanging around will go eat afterwards. I don't want to sign anybody up for
beer
anything.
miles for everybody too. So there's some sort of beer mile thing after all the events, and that's for anyone to partake in.
Okay. Well, if you want to do a beer mile, show up around 2, and you'll chug a beer, run a lap, chug a beer, run a lap, chug a beer, run a lap, chug a beer, run a lap. Normally, it's a beer per 400.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that, but it's not. That's how it. At least the one that they like. There's a competition where they like time it. I think there's a claim to be world record where it's like basically like 10 meters or 5 meters where you can walk with your beer and chug it, but by the time you get to the line, you have to be done. You set it down, you run, and then you get a new beer on the second lap. I think that's how they do it. So that'll be interesting. Then next weekend, beast mode for
Bullies.
Beast mode for bullies at CrossFit Conroe, which is about 35, 45 minutes up 45. This is an awesome opportunity. It is a fundraiser competition, okay? So a little bit like Battle Buddy. So that should allow you to take the pressure off.
Yeah.
So this is, he really wants to sit next to you.
It is team as well.
He's going to sit next to you, whether you scoot over or not. And yeah, so it's teams of 2. And I cannot emphasize, I want you to be a part of this. Like, whether you love pit bulls, whether you just love dogs, whether you just love CrossFit, whether you just want to see how competition goes, this is a great way because even though you could sign up for any competition, like you could go to the Annihilation Games this weekend as a scaled athlete or scaled team, but you won't because you think it's a big deal. You feel like you're at the Olympics. So a fundraiser allows you to feel like you're doing it for fun, okay, even though that's true of every competition. So get signed up for that, knowing that all the money goes to a great cause, rescuing pit bulls, which is really, really necessary, unfortunately, with all the breeding and everything that's going on right now. And then also people still thinking they're awful dogs and stuff. So we want to support anybody that's taking care of those amazing animals. So that's next weekend. So this weekend, Annihilation Games at Katy. Next weekend, CrossFit Conroe, Beast Mode for Bullies. And then the following weekend, December 15th, here from 11 to 2, probably 3. I think this is going to be a big deal, so we'll say 4 hours, 11 to 3. We're going to be doing kind of a winter. I think what we're going to do is we're going to make it a community day. I think we're going to do community workouts at 8 a.m. and 9 a.m., okay, because we're not going to do a first Saturday this week. So we'll do a first Saturday type thing on December 15th. So free community workout, 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. Then at 11, so hour transition, I'm going to get dressed. I bought a theater quality Santa Claus suit. It's sitting in a box over on the table. I bought I bought a few different beards on Amazon. I might get like Mila, if you're watching, I might get like Mila to do my makeup.
Oh yeah.
To make me look a little more
rosy red cheeks.
Rosy red cheeks, maybe some gray eyebrows, some wrinkles. Get a little Santa-y. And then we're gonna take pictures with your dogs. And so I'm gonna set up a little photo shoot opportunity, and we're gonna do Christmas photos for your animals. And it's gonna be like $5 or $10 donation kind of thing, so we can raise a little bit of money, help us get through this slow season, kind of see the rant earlier if you're not understanding why that is. And then I also, and this is gonna be a little bit more difficult, but I would like to, if we could, do like a gingerbread building competition, maybe like a $5 buy-in for that, or a $10 buy-in, who can build the best graham cracker gingerbread house. And go from there. So that will be December 15th here. That's open to everybody. I want everybody here, 11 to 3 p.m.
Or gingerbread Jim.
It is going to be our Christmas party. So this serves as our Christmas party. Okay. So if you've been with us for 3 years, we've done a catered dinner, rented tables, did all this stuff. We spent too much money. Financially, it didn't make any sense, and so we are going to go ahead and just put that on hiatus for a year. We'll bring it back because I like it. I love the idea of doing it, but instead this year we're going to do the midday Christmas shenanigans or holiday extravaganza.
Question, Ben. You don't got to know who it is. We'll keep this anonymous. Can we sit on your lap? Just dogs, or are humans allowed to take a pic with you? Extra fee?
Yeah, that's a $20 donation. No, yeah, look, it's
all in the spirit of Christmas.
It's all in this. If you're comfortable with it, I'm comfortable with it. Whatever. I'm not gonna be weird. I love all of you. So, if anybody wants to get a Christmas photo and not have to go to the mall, let's do it. Okay, let's do it. So, I'd love to save you the trouble. Love to save you the trouble. Of not having to go sit in line at the mall. So that'll be great. Looking forward to that.
Let's just put a sign outside that says photos of Santa.
Stop. Do not tell everybody outside.
In this warehouse that you don't know what's
There's no
going
signs
on
outside.
in here. It just says photos of Santa inside.
No, we'll just put a sign that says come sit on my lap.
Oh, man. This might work.
Just put a poster outside that says come sit on my lap. No explanation. Sit on my lap for $5.
But What do you think about if the athletes brought a friend with the dog that wanted their dog? To
I
take
think
photos
I
of
think
them?
we leave this open to anybody as long as there's some sort of donation made. As long as there's some sort of contribution, then I will any animal look. And so far
Just no
the cat people have been joking. The cat people I've heard I think two joke. I think it was Kim and Brandy that both were like, I'm gonna bring my cats.
Shit.
And I said, fine. And they're like, no, I'm just joking. Look, I will just hold if the cat scratches me, we're good. We're good. I can handle a cat scratch. It's anything for the cause. All right. I will hold your cat. I'll hold your guinea pig.
People like the gingerbread house idea.
I'll hold your guinea pig. I'll hold your iguana. Whatever. What other pets do people have? Your tarantula. Okay.
Lizards.
If Joel brings his horse, I'll hold the horse.
Holy shit.
I'm thinking
I'll write them up here.
thinking about dressing Jax up as a reindeer.
Whoa. It could be. Oh no, you could just do the horn and the nose, just like in the Grinch. That's it. So just the one horn, just like in the cartoon. The one horn.
Look at him. He'd be perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely perfect. So that'll be fun. December 15th, we'll be here 11 to 3. And then we will do a happy hour in December. I think the week before Christmas. So Christmas, I think, is on the Monday or Tuesday. And so the week before, which should be like the 19th or 20th, whatever Thursday night. Maybe we do a Friday night, but probably Thursday night we'll go down to Pinkerton's or D&T, and we'll do a December happy hour. And maybe that can be our 4-year anniversary party.
There you go.
Because that's the deal with the Christmas party. The reason we did it so nice the last 3 years is we opened in December of 2014. And so it also serves as our anniversary. And this will be our 4th year completing a year in business. And so we'll do a happy hour the Thursday before Christmas to celebrate that. Because it's been an adventure. There's not many of you that have been here since the beginning, but there's a few of you. And so y'all deserve to be recognized. And then those of you that have been with us for any length of time, whether it's been 1 day, a year, 3 years, we have quite a few of y'all that have made your 2-year anniversary. I think the 4-year anniversary is only like Brian Gamble, and then
Brian. I feel like Summer would be next.
I was saying, I don't think I have any more District H people. I think I ran off all my District H people, which is fine. Elisa doesn't count because she leaves every 3 months. So Elisa, had you just stuck it out, you would be a 4-year anniversary person as well. I think that might
Brian's a Black Wolf legend.
He is legendary. Yeah, so that'd be it. And a lot of y'all, I think we actually might even have a few 3 years because like Summer should be around 3 years. Mike should definitely be 3 years. So it'll be good. We want to do a celebration.
Brian will be up there with them as well.
He would have shown up around summer's time.
Okay.
And although he disappears, I don't think he's ever canceled, so he does count as well. He just travels a lot for work. He travels a lot for work.
That's the guy that travels.
That is the guy that travels. That is absolutely. And then when he's in town, he makes sure he gets in. He does a very, very good job of that. Okay. I mean, those are the announcements. I didn't mean the announcements had to end the show. Like we can
We can talk about that brand new ice Morningstar's got in that coffee cup right there.
Yeah, so we decided to go with Morningstar Coffee today. First of all, we talk about customer service a lot. I can't read. Oh. Sorry, I forgot my mother. My mother's 4 years with us. So sorry, Mom.
Many more with you.
Yeah, my mom has been with District H, or been with me for 4 years at this business, and she was at District H. Now, Brian actually has more tenure than her, though, in terms of Life with Ben coaching, because my mom refused to start CrossFit with me. But I manipulated my mom. I knew exactly what I was doing. In 2013, I consulted. 2012, 2013, I consulted for a gym out on the Beltway called CrossFit Detonate. And I think I've told this story, but it was a carpeted second-story Krav Maga gym.
Oh, carpeted.
And he started a CrossFit gym because he thought he went to one class. He dropped into one class at CrossFit Elevate.
Are they still around?
It closed and it reopened. And he went to one class, thought it would be easy for him to do, and opened a CrossFit affiliate inside of his Krav Maga studio. And guess what? Didn't do well. So he brought me in to help it get better. And I had a coach that was working with me, Jamie Granchelli, who's now a physical therapist. She started running the classes over there. And I knew that my mom would do CrossFit if it was air conditioned and it was carpeted. And so
I
she
just
started over there. So her first like 3 or 6 months was not with me. And then she went to another gym. She went to Illuminati because in Aurelia, I put Aurelia over there. Jamie trained Aurelia how to that's where Aurelia is, one of Aurelia's first coaching jobs. And then Aurelia was my mom's coach. And when Aurelia left, she went to Illuminati. My mom went to Illuminati. This was when I was leaving District H. No, she was at District H for a while. I forget the timeline. But she did not start with me. My mom refused to do CrossFit with me until she finally got acclimated and goes, oh, I can do this. And now she's been with us ever since. So Brian Gamble is
That's how it goes.
super legendary. Sue McClure Joes is almost legendary. We'll say that. Okay.
Almost legendary.
Morningstar. Sorry, Mom. Thanks for interrupting. Morningstar. So
You're awesome, Sue.
you've heard our feelings on Morningstar. Okay. The coffee's a little soft. All right. Doesn't really kick you in the teeth.
That's why we had that espresso shot.
And so we had been going to Boomtown. But unfortunately, there's negative feelings. Go talk to Janai about it. Boomtown can be seen as pretentious. Boomtown can be seen as pricey. Boomtown can be seen as the epitome of Heights hipster.
I think all of them are like that.
True. Well, maybe. I don't think they're all as pricey. Slowpokes isn't as costly.
No, they're not. They're not as costly. Like, that'd be the one.
Yeah.
That was it's kind of, even the crowd there, even the environment, like, the people that go there are a little different. Like, it's different than all. It's not.
Well, I think Slowpokes benefits it's outside the loop.
Yeah.
Even though it's a block outside the loop, it's still outside the loop.
Yeah, but it is one that I don't go to as much as others.
It's interesting. I think. No, I guess. You're right. You're absolutely right.
But I like it for that. Like,
you're absolutely right.
I like it for that. Like, it's different. Like, if you don't want to be in the Morningstar crowd or the Boomtown crowd, you go to Slowpoke.
Yeah. No, I think here's the deal. I think that Boomtown. You're right. The other inside the loop coffee shops are really doing the same thing Boomtown's doing. They just don't do it as well. They're not. Maybe it's their location, whatever it is. Boomtown has been in the game for a long time. You know, Morningstar opened like when we opened. I think they're relatively new.
They're brand new too.
And Slowpokes opened recently, and Through Goods opened last year or 2 years ago now, and so Boomtown's been in the game the longest. They're on 19th, which is historic. It's literally a tourist destination. Like, people come to the Heights to go to 19th Street.
Yeah.
And so
visit all the small shops.
And they do a good job. Like, their coffee's good.
Yeah.
You don't come out of Boomtown. You can have some complaints about Boomtown, but you don't come out going like that coffee wasn't good.
No.
They make a great product. And so I think why I don't like it is because what results from them being so good, it means people talk about them all the time, and it means they're always crowded, you know?
Yeah.
And so then, like, I'm averse to when somebody that gets talked about all the time, I'm immediately like, are people really liking this? Or is this now?
Is it all hype?
All my friends said it was good, so I'm going to say it's good too. Because I don't trust people to make their own judgment. I think people like, Joel says it was good, so then I say it was good.
Yeah.
Like, Joel's excited to go there, so I'm like, oh my God, have you been to Boomtown? And I've only been like once.
Yeah.
But I'm going to act like I'm Joel because Joel tells me all the time how good it is.
Yeah.
People are like that. And I really, that grinds my gears a bit. So I think.
It grinds my gears.
I think, like, if I walked in the. Well,
I didn't yell.
You know what's similar? Morningstar on a Saturday morning.
Uh-oh. Janai has some input here. Let's see. Oh, Michelle thinks Sue's awesome. We all think Sue's awesome. Thank you, Michelle. To be fair, I used to like Boomtown, but it's too crowded, which is true if you go at the wrong time. It's a destination people are coming in, like, from the burbs. Like, it's a destination for people like that. So.
Yeah. Yeah, but, like, think about Morningstar on a 9 a.m. on a Saturday.
It's horrible.
Like, whenever you're like, hey, man, let's go grab coffee. Or like, hey, you're not coaching right now. Or like, hey, it's a small class. Joel, go grab some coffee. You know where
grab some coffee real quick.
Like, you know where
Did
we
you say
shouldn't
real
go?
quick?
We shouldn't go to Morningstar.
Should not, no.
And Boomtown's the same way. Like, you walk in, that line's going to be all the way down the wall. You're going to be standing in front of those couches or those seats now.
There are times where I walked in and just walked straight. I was like, I don't feel like it
Absolutely.
today.
But you're
No.
exactly right. Every coffee shop is the same. Because the reason I don't like Boomtown is the reason I don't like Morningstar on a Saturday morning.
Yeah.
They have one point of sale system. They have no desire to speed up the line.
Yeah.
They don't want to. They should have an express lane. If you're buying a coffee drink, like a coffee, that someone could make in front of you, hot or cold, where they could just pour it themselves, there should be a POS just for that.
Yeah.
That's it. And then any of your concoctions or food orders can go to the other side.
Any customized lattes.
How that is not how y'all operate on a busy time, I don't understand.
Yeah.
So, sorry. I guess that is another rant.
No, that's a very good point though. Like that makes all the sense. Oh, cold brew. Here you go.
I mean, you
Bye.
could
coffee.
roll a cart to the front
Yeah.
and just have a barista work by him or herself.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, are you getting coffee? Stay up here.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't even have to stand there. Like, you could be swiping your card as they're pouring, and you're leaving before the next person even gets to the register.
I mean, because it's drip or cold brew.
And then you do your own cream, you do your own sugar.
Yeah.
So, like, we don't, but, like, they do. Like, if you – anything else that would be added to those things, you can go to the bar and do yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. Shaky, shaky, shaky.
So then the question becomes, why are they not prioritizing customer service? And that is why I do not like them.
You need to watch The Office.
You know, like that's what gets me. But that same breath, I walked into Morningstar this week, Wednesday.
I forget when you had that.
The first time I had the ice,
Because that's why I wanted to go today. Because you told me about that ice. I was like, well, I need to experience.
and
this
I walked
ice.
in, and everybody in there except for one of them was like, "Hey Ben, how are you doing? Where have you been?" Like,
Is that which one was that
genuinely excited.
one? Which one was that one?
No idea.
I got that from Theo. The other
Destiny's
day.
not there anymore. I think it was Theo.
Glasses, short hair.
She kills it, man.
She's awesome.
She remembers names. She genuinely seems excited to see you.
She's
And then
I like
because she was excited,
I like Theo.
the guy that's always super quiet, he smiled and said, "Hey, man, how you doing?"
Mhm.
Like, the only one that didn't is the one that I feel like might be kind of a manager. And
She's a shorter one. Highlights.
no, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But then
Theo's awesome, yeah.
even then by the same, she goes, "Wow, I don't know you, but yeah, I'm excited you're here too." And I was like, so it just made me feel good.
They know you. I feel like I must know you.
And I hadn't been there. I hadn't been there since they got this ice, and they got this ice like 3 months ago.
Damn.
Like, I haven't been there in a long time,
It's
you know?
been a while.
Because that Boomtown Crack Rock does it for me. And
Crack Rock.
Starbucks $2.50 for a drink does it for me.
And a free refill if you have the app.
And just get my gold stars. And so we went, and then I went yesterday, same response. Not 4 of them, but like 2 of them were like, "Hey, man, how are you doing?"
Yeah.
Like, it is all about customer service, man.
Mm-hmm.
So my question becomes, why would you not want a second POS system? Why would you not want why would you not want to facilitate a better experience? And this is where I don't trust hipsters. I don't trust fancy things, because I think when you create demand,
Mm-hmm.
you feel better about yourself. When you make people wait, you go, "Look at that line. They all want this stuff." It would be the same. It might be more people if you let us go quicker. It might be more people if you let us go quicker. But you want to see the line to the door.
I hope not. Hope that's not the case.
Then why the hell? I just gave you the solution.
Yeah. It's an easy solution.
You would also take a load off the baristas, because you could separate a whole aspect of this.
Yeah.
And don't tell me, you could still have drip behind the bar. You could still have cold brew behind the bar, just in case you're getting a frappuccino, which, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Or you're doing what we're doing.
Where's the minimalist coffee shop? Well, it's called the gas station, but, like, where's the minimalist coffee shop?
That's it right there.
Like, where's the coffee? And I'll give you the condiments. You can still have your sugar or your stevia or whatever. I'm saying, like, where's the, like, I'm not making you a frappuccino. I am not using a blender on your coffee drink.
Yeah.
Where is that coffee shop?
It's just black coffee or iced coffee.
That's fine.
The bland coffee
Rant's
shop.
over. Anyways, I like this ice. It's still a soft coffee, meaning it's not going to punch me in the teeth. I feel like I could still nap today, which is fine. But I like the ice. It's interesting. We were talking about, should they put more ice in it? Like, Joel thinks strictly in terms of, like, quantity of coffee, and so he's saying, like, no, less
I
ice.
usually do less ice, folks.
For me, I like more ice. I think the cold and the texture gives the flavor, changes the flavor of the coffee. And especially with smaller ice, you know that if you want your ice to stay, you do a bigger. That's why you see, like, at a lot of bars, fancy bars now, like kind of like the Prohibition style bars. Some of them are doing the giant, like, cubes or balls of ice.
For like whiskey and whatnot.
Yeah, because I think it's the more surface area, the slower it melts.
Something like
but the smaller ice cubes, the smaller it melts. It melts
quicker.
very, very quickly, and so that's very, very interesting. But that's the coffee shop story for the day. Sorry. Okay.
Almost at an hour.
Almost at an hour. I do think it's about time we wrap up. I mean, the only thing we haven't touched on is our weekly Joe Rogan update.
Which one?
I watched the one with
Jake the Snake?
Miriam
Rock climber?
Nakamoto last night.
I haven't watched that one.
Oh my God,
She's a
dude!
badass.
42 years old, Muay Thai and MMA.
Yeah.
7-time world champion. The video of her legs before her third fight in 5 days from some tournament she did, like,
Bruised up.
oh my, that doesn't even explain it. Joe was like, oh, is that after you fought? She goes, actually, I had to fight in like 10 minutes later.
Oof.
And he goes, how do you do it? And he goes, you put your shield up.
Yeah.
She goes, force shield. She goes, you put your shield up. She goes, when I fight, like, and I think this goes great because I related this to running. When I did all that endurance running and I was really bad at it, the problem was I didn't put my shield up. I embraced the pain, but not in a good way. I embraced like, yeah, I'm in pain. And it was like,
aware of the pain.
so aware of it. And she goes, look, you'll get hit and there will be, like she goes, when I cracked my ribs, I felt that.
Yeah.
That got through the shield. She goes, but most of the time, you get hit and you don't let it affect you.
Yeah, you don't think about.
Even if it does
pain.
damage.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't do damage, but you don't think about it more.
On the damage.
The moment it touches you and goes, you're done with it.
Yeah.
She goes, so when I got in the ring after that with my legs like that, she was like, I was able to keep it out. But, I mean, it was nuts, man. But, I mean, talking about a powerful woman, a strong woman.
Literally.
They talked about dating. Like,
did they talk about her maybe possibly going against Cyborg?
So, well, they talked about how nice they thought Cyborg was. And, like,
oh, yeah, apparently she's super nice.
Joe was like,
She's
I feel bad
fucking
because I used to
awesome.
make fun of her.
Oh, yeah, they make fun of her. They give her shit.
And he was like, but she's the nicest person.
And she'll whoop your ass.
And she'll whoop your ass.
Shit.
Well, that's what they talked about at the end. They were talking about dating. He was like, I always think it's weird. Like, y'all must have such a hard time finding men.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, and she goes, well, so she was like, one of my boyfriends, great boyfriend, but he was a fighter too. And we were on the same card. He was fighting the night before I was. And he got caught. And when he went down, and we're not saying these people are well adjusted.
Okay.
She goes, he went down and he just goes like this. And she goes, the moment he goes like this, I was done with him.
Oh, no.
And she goes, I don't care that you got caught. I don't care if you get knocked out. But if you're going down, it's still F you, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
even if you're going to take me out, you're going out swinging.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Joe saw how ridiculous. He was like, well, I mean, neurologically, sometimes you can't control what your body does.
Yeah. He's
And
trying
she goes,
to put
there's just better ways to handle it.
Yeah.
And he goes, maybe you don't need to date a fighter. Maybe you need like a Navy SEAL, someone that can kill people but
Yeah.
doesn't have to do it in front of you.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Or
so
has killed people.
it's pretty fascinating. But just so you think, it's not just about like it was. They talk about so much
They
stuff.
talk about Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz.
Yep. Poor Chuck, man.
Goodness.
Did you watch that fight?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched the fight.
I watched
the whole
it.
thing.
It was
And I
bad.
was like, wait, what?
It was bad start to
It
finish.
was bad.
The moment they rang the bell, Chuck looked weird,
Well, I didn't even know what was happening.
and
when
Tito didn't look good either.
When it started, I mean, well, I will say they're in all right shape for their age,
They look Chuck's 50.
but they're not in fighting shape. But they'll still kick our asses.
Oh no,
I
yeah.
will say
Let's
that.
be very, very clear.
Very clear. They will still destroy a
Well, Dana White
pedestrian.
pointed out Tito Ortiz has never knocked somebody out, and he knocked Chuck Liddell out in the first round.
Well, old Chuck Liddell, like.
But that's the thing. That's what
old Chuck.
the whole point. The whole conflict of this was Chuck's too old to be fighting.
Yeah.
Chuck's been knocked out before. Chuck's been knocked out a lot before. And that's what Joe talked about. He talked about how Chuck's way of fighting is a savage. Like just moving towards you, taking damage, moving towards you, taking damage, moving towards you, and ending you. But
I think their last fight, Tito won actually.
I thought
Before this one.
Chuck won both of them.
I think Tito won one of them.
You think? Okay.
I can't remember.
Well,
It's
it was
been
way
so
back
long.
like mid 2000s.
Yeah, it's been so long. My goodness. Like, I didn't even know it was happening till it was happening. Like, they show them coming out in the ring. I'm like, wait, what? What? This is happening right now? Is this real life?
If you YouTube
I was almost excited.
If you YouTube reactions to the fight, Michael Bisping talks about it. The Dana White interview, So it's Skip to My
He
MMA.
talked a lot of shit.
Skip to My MMA is like, I guess, a YouTube video, a YouTube channel, talks a lot about MMA. They interviewed Dana White.
Mm-hmm.
Dana White went off on Oscar De La Hoya,
Yeah.
who was in charge of this promotion.
Mm-hmm.
And like apparently Oscar didn't know any of the fighters' names.
Yeah, yeah. I keep hearing that he did a poor job of presenting everything.
He did everything wrong.
But I forget who Joe Rogan said it, but or maybe it was on Fighter NK they were talking about it. That fight was going to happen regardless, so it's better that it happened with him than with the UFC or Bellator.
Well, I mean,
than with the well-established brand that's going to take heat for this. Oscar De La Hoya trying to get into the game.
well, remember Brendan Schaub said that Chuck had told him he called Dana first, and
Yeah,
Dana said, "I don't want anything to do with this."
Yeah.
He's like, "Good," and Dana said, "Good luck," but he said, "I don't want anything to do with this."
Mm-hmm.
And then Dana said in the interview I heard, no commission should have ever allowed this fight to happen.
Yeah.
But I think I think it's also one, we saw it. I don't think you should be knocked out at 50. I don't think that's healthy.
Yeah, no.
But as they say,
Especially
man,
with doing that your whole life already.
you already had so many concussions.
Yeah, who knows what kind of damage you already have?
Okay, there's our MMA minute
Yeah.
that literally nobody cares about.
They still talking about MMA?
Okay.
It's Chuck Liddell.
This weekend, No Label Brewery. There's still class, 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. I will be here 8 a.m. and 9 a.m.
Workout's already posted, so there's no guessing there, folks.
Yeah, heading out to No Label Brewery after that. They start probably, I would imagine, first heat
Around 9.
around 9. 8.
9.
Let's say get there at 8:30 if you want to guarantee seeing event 1. It'll allow you to park. It's going to be a big event. There's kids working out.
Yeah, the kids actually started off.
There's masters athletes working out. There's a powerlifting competition. There's a beer mile afterwards.
There's something for everyone.
It's supposed to be a pretty sizable vendor village. I also know that Annihilation owns a nutrition shop themselves, and so they have that going on out there.
KTX Nutrition Center.
So there's going to be a lot going on out at No Label. So get out there a little bit early.
Get out there, support us.
We will post the heats once Joel if he gets them. If we don't get them by midday today, we'll just post what we have.
I think I just got an email from them, so
Okay,
I have
cool.
to check on that.
We'll put it in Quad City. If you're not in our secret Facebook group, then just ask one of our members for the information, or get into Facebook Quad City Coffee Club and request to get in there. Next weekend, Beast Mode for Bullies, and then the weekend after that, Santa Photos, and obviously now that everybody wants it, Gingerbread House Building.
Gingerbread House Building.
Competition.
Is going down, 'cause so far it's gonna be
Competition
great.
will rank and we'll give prizes.
Yes, we'll figure that out.
Free T-shirt,
Free T-shirt. There you go.
long sleeve tee,
Long sleeve tee.
which y'all love. Selling them out again, man. They're all buying them up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's all I got. You got anything?
Nope, that's it. Come on, support us, y'all. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Having y'all there, having y'all present, it really does help us a lot. So
Absolutely.
It really makes us feel really good to have y'all there with us. And at the Energy Games, we had a nice showing. If you didn't see the group photo, so if you get out there, even for a little bit, say hi. It means a lot to us. So do that if you can.
Awesome,
Other than that,
awesome.
That's it.
All right, guys. Have a fabulous Friday.
Fabulous Friday, folks. Thank you for tuning into the podcast.
All right.
If you didn't watch or listen, we wouldn't be doing it.
Show up, be consistent, live a life worth leading. You're going to die soon. Have a great day.
Bye.